And shouts out to the big city, Monk's Corner. All right. Before we get into Ballas and Bustas and talking about the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl and all of that stuff, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right, so last week, and I want to get this out there right now. We actually need to be ready to put this up as a poll. But last week, I had mentioned how, some people in Atlanta still call the Falcons team today the Dirty Birds. And me and a lot of people that I know feel like that the Dirty Birds name, that moniker, is really, just a 1998 thing for the Falcons from 1998. It really doesn't apply because they don't have the same personalities on the team. It's different. It's, 20 years later almost. And so we thought it'd be a cool idea to come up with a new nickname for the Atlanta Falcons. We got a lot of different people gave their thoughts. So we came up with two names. We came up with two names that we want you to actually vote for in the Doug Stewart Show Facebook chat group. All right. The first name that we came up with was all kind of tied into this song right here.
Young rich. So we ain't really never had no old money.
Yeah.
We got
Migos.
a lot of new money though.
Bad and Bougie. Yeah.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box.
All right, so let me explain this. Let me explain this the best way I can. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So we got Demetria2000 sent me an email, and she also posted it in the chat room. And she says she thinks a good idea for a name, a new cool name for this year's Atlanta Falcons going to the Super Bowl would be Bad and Bougie. All right, and where she gets bad from is obvious. The defense has been playing like some bad boys. You got Vic Beasley, you got the linebackers, you got Dwight Freeney, Keanu Neal. Those boys are bad, all right? They're real tough, go-get-it cats that's going to go after the quarterback. So that's the bad. And the bougie is that in relative terms compared to their opponents in the Super Bowl, the New England cheating-ass Patriots, they're bougie. Right. And then Migos, the cats that sing this song are from Atlanta. There's some of them new rappers, but I get it. So it ties in. Bad and Bougie. Atlanta Falcons, bad, but they're kind of bougie in relative terms to the cheating-ass Patriots. Very classy set of individuals. So what do y'all think about Bad and Bougie? And the other option, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the other option for the Atlanta Falcons is the Set It Off Falcons. Now, if you're old school like me, you remember this song right here. Set It Off! Now, the way we came up with Set It Off, I guess whoever it was that gave that as a suggestion, Dan Quinn has mentioned it a couple of times, and I don't think he even realizes the significance of that term, set it off. But Dan Quinn has mentioned it a couple of times that the Atlanta Falcons offense with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, they set it off. Like every week, they set it off. And I guess set it off kind of goes back to the term we used to use for when you set fireworks, when you lit fireworks. Go and set the fireworks off, set it off. So, Set It Off Falcons or Bad and Bougie. Now, I know this is the Atlanta Falcons, or not the Atlanta Falcons. I know this is the AKA's theme song. If you didn't know, the AKAs, they use Set It Off kind of like as a little party starting song. So I've heard this song probably, 30 years. I don't know how long this song has been out, but it step shows the AKA step to this, and so it's real cool, man. This is the song that we also used to do the bus stop to, or not the bus stop, what do they call it, the electric slide. We used to call it the bus stop, but it became the electric slide. So your choices are, we're going to post a quick little poll. Your choices for Falcons nickname, Bad and Bougie, or Set It Off Falcons. Or there's going to be an option, I think, Waterhead setting it up. There's going to be an option also for neither. All right. Speaking of the Atlanta Falcons, and I'll tell you when we get the poll up in the chat group. Speaking of the Atlanta Falcons, man, the Falcons got sent off to Houston, man, with a ton of fans that came down to downtown, to City Hall. And they also had a couple other little send-offs. I think that I read where they had one at Atlantic Station or something like that, man. And it's real. It's starting to set in now. You got media days now at the Super Bowl. And the Falcons are already down there. The Patriots are down there as well, I believe. Or they were supposed to get there a day after the Falcons. But it's real now. The Atlanta Falcons are in the Super Bowl. Wow. Wow. Man, Falcons are in the Super Bowl taking on the New England Patriots. Incredible. An incredible year, how the season started off, how they got off to a bang, but then kind of struggled a little bit in the middle there and just put everything together. I heard a interview, and I think it was like on ESPN E60 or something like that, on the radio coming back to ATL. And it was an interview with Vic Beasley. And part of the interview was a conversation they had, or they kind of got comments from Dwight Freeney. And Dwight Freeney was saying how, you know, his main thing that they talked to him about when he first came to Atlanta was, you know, making Vic Beasley better. And he says that very early on in training camp, like he'd see Vic Beasley do something wrong, or in the film session, Vic Beasley would do something that he thought that he could do better or in a different way, and he'd tell him, like, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I'm a veteran, so you should listen. And Vic Beasley took all of that in, and he said by week 6 or 7, like he had forgot all about training and tutoring Vic Beasley because he had taken all of the lessons and had applied them. And obviously he did, led the league in sacks this year with 15 and a half. So it seemed like everything meshed together and came together, man. And I think the line right now was still 3 points, man. The Falcons in Houston, Texans taking on the New England Patriots, man. We want to talk about it all day long, all week long. We want to talk about the choices for the Falcons theme song. Your choices, once again, are Bad and Bougie. And the other choice, is Set It Off Falcons. And we'll actually post that in the chat group on Spreaker.com here in a second. Once again, John Lynch in San Francisco, we'll get into that. And best siblings ever. Serena does it this weekend. Pro Bowl was a lot better than it has been in the past. And I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about that as well, because they stole all my damn ideas for the Pro Bowl, and I didn't get damn royalty check. Yeah. And advice for Dan Quinn from a very reputable source on that and what the Falcons need to do to get it done this weekend. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougSwishShow.com. Now, I'm just going to say this because I saw somebody say it in the chat room at the top when we first came onto the show today. They were expecting me to have this, you know, historic meltdown about Donald Trump and everything that happened this past weekend. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it, man. It speaks for itself. It absolutely speaks for itself, man. Everything that you saw happen this weekend, 2 weeks in a row, 2 weekends in a row, you got thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands of people, man, protesting something that Donald Trump has done, these executive orders. And in particular this weekend, signed this executive order to ban people coming into the U.S. from 6 or 7, I think it was, Muslim states. And it's really got people up in arms, man. It's crazy. But you know what? This is what you're going to get out of Donald Trump. And I'm doing my best to stay under control and stay composed because I don't want to get upset today. I don't want my blood pressure to go up today, so I'm going to be cool. So I'm going to be cool, all right? I'm going to be cool. But what did you expect? What did you expect? The President Trump exhibits classic signs of mental illness, including malignant narcissism, an expert psychologist says. This is the New York Daily News. Yeah, there's an article that I read, and that's being talked about as well, man. You got a cat, and we're going to get into this in the birthday and entertainment segment today as well, about, the power that Donald Trump wields now that he's the president of the United States of America. Did you know that Donald Trump is the sole decision maker in whether to launch a nuclear weapon? Huh? Did you hear what I just said? He doesn't have to go through any other checks and balances. Like, at his discretion, like 1 minute Donald Trump can say, F them, let's go ahead and launch a nuclear weapon, and then 4 minutes later it'll be done. And I'll talk about it more. But did you know that Donald Trump, a cat that psychologists, that experts are saying is mentally ill? Yeah. I remember, I don't know, last year before the election, we kept throwing around this whole quote, Donald Trump's going to get us all killed. It's kind of being facetious, but not really. Yeah, shouts out to everybody, man, that protested this weekend, man. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people once again, man. And once again, this is just 1 week of this guy. This is just 1 week. Now, I will say this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If this continues, and I want to make sure I say this in the right way. If this continues, there's no way that people with the ability to make it stop, our government. In other words, there's no way our government would continue to let this happen for 4 years. So I don't know whether they pull out some information about, what went down in Russia and peeing on beds with the hookers. I don't know if they got any other kind of tape on Donald Trump or whatever where they can get him impeached. Or maybe even something more drastic and harsh than that. But if this continues, he got to go. They're not going to allow this cat to continue to be president. You watched Scandal before. You know the type of scandalous stuff that goes on in our government. Smart people, intelligent people won't let this happen for 4 years. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. Intelligent people won't continue to let this go down and this guy's agenda be pushed for 4 years. No way that happens. They'll find a way to get his ass out of there. Trust me on that. All right, when we get back from the break, man, Serena, the GOAT, and we'll talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl. Super Bowl 51 all week long. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes.
This is funny. People say brown, or maybe she was red, better yet chocolate. She fly, but she got an attitude. I like the way she move with them baby fat shoes. I wanna see her with the lights on. It's dark in the club, cause the music too loud. I wanna know your damn name, not your damn drink. I'm a G, gentleman, I got range. She a little peach dancer and she go to Clark Atlanta. Maybe she be trapping on the block in your hood. Either way she bad, she got class.